threatens my safety. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, OMG, what are y'all doing? Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jayla. I go by Jayla Says on all my social media, and I'd appreciate it if you liked, commented, and subscribed, and tell a friend, okay? So today's video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be a chit chat. Get ready with me. I'm going to be talking a little bit about my move to Texas and things like that. So if you want to see how I got this look, my little everyday basics look, then keep watching. And if you have any questions about any products that I'm using, just be sure to comment down below because I didn't mention them in the video. So without further ado, let's get into it. I know I look drastically different than the intro of this video, but we're about to get into our little chit chat. I already started with my eyebrows. They look a mess. They need to be done, but I'm trying to wait until I go out of town, so that's that on that. But we just gonna make it do what it do. Hopefully by the end of it, it will come together. Why did I move to Texas? It's a question I've gotten a couple of times. I mean, nobody's hounding me. No, I'm not that important. Nobody cares that much, but it is a question that I've gotten a few times. People just want to know why I moved to Texas. And it's such a hard question for me to answer because I don't really have a concrete why. It was really more of a why not type of thing for me. Like, I wasn't really happy with where I was living. I was staying with my mom, which was fine. Me and my mom get along great, but I just needed more space. I needed, you know, just a different environment. I had a job. It wasn't really a career job. It was a job though. It paid my bills, which I didn't have many of them. So, you know, I didn't have a boyfriend, don't have any kids. Like, I didn't have anything tying me down, and I just felt like the older you get, the less likely you are to do it. So since I had the opportunity, I was like, why not? So I've been down here almost a year. It'll be a year in September. And so far, I love it. I'm so happy that I went ahead and made this move. I don't regret it. I do have pros and cons of Texas, which we'll get into a little bit later. But I mean, so far, I'm really, really, really happy that I came. It worked out really well for me. Like, I didn't have to do any like super immense planning. I didn't really do much like budgeting or anything like that. Like, when I say I kind of just, it was a wing it situation for sure, and it just was so easy for me. And as I look back, that was really just God, because I think he just really wanted me to be here. There are a lot of things that I don't think would have happened or I wouldn't be doing if I hadn't moved out of state. Like, I don't think I would be on YouTube, even though it was something that I really wanted to do for a really long time. I don't think I would have done it had I not moved out of state, because I just had more space. It's just a different environment. I think a lot of people should move out of their hometown. Even if you come back, that was my thing. It was like, if I move, there's nothing that can prevent me from coming back. Like, I know what's here. Like, it'll always be there. Like, I know that the city is not going anywhere. So if I move for a little while and I hate it, I can come back. I left my job on good terms, so I know that they will be happy to have me back, unless they replaced me. But it just really, I didn't have any reason not to. And I didn't take long to decide that I was going to. Like, my dad had let me know that he was moving, and that where he was moving to, there would be an extra bedroom. He was getting an extra bedroom. And when he said that, I was like, oh, it's no longer an extra room, it's my room. Like, I really didn't even think too much about it. The day that he told me that he had the extra room is the day I told him I was coming down here. And I think within that week, that same week that I think I decided in, maybe it was the end of May, early June, something like that. And then I moved in September. But the day that he said that was the day that my mind was made up. And it felt like, I remember like getting butterflies. Like, wow, I'm really about to do this. Because I knew I was serious when I said it. Like, it wasn't no joking about it. Like, I knew that I was dead serious. So I got butterflies because I was so excited, because moving out of state was something I had talked about for years. I played with the idea of North Carolina. Texas was always on the list, but if it hadn't been for my dad, I probably would be in Houston with my cousin, because she had told me several times that I could come and stay with her, but the timing just was never right. Like, you know, I was in a relationship and didn't want to do long distance and stuff like that. So I turned her down. She was like, I'll help you find a job and everything. And I was just so young, and it just wasn't God's timing. But I thank her for those opportunities, and I know that the offer still stands if I decide to move to Houston. But I'm happy where I am in Dallas. I'm happy with my decision to move. So it really, like, it was so unbelievably easy for me. But also we have to keep in mind that I was staying with one parent, and then I moved down here to stay with another parent. So, I mean, I didn't really have to go through what many young adults have to go through when they move out of state. Like, I did have to find a new job. I found a new job on my own. I did interviews via Zoom because it was in a pandemic, which made actually being a pandemic actually made it a lot easier for me to move out of state, because like, they didn't even ask any questions. Like, I already had an address. Like, I used my dad's address on my applications. I had work experience. They were already holding Zoom interviews, and my job that I had in the city, they were really accommodating. Like, they would let me use the back office to do my Zoom interviews because I would do them on my lunch breaks and stuff. And I ended up getting, I think, 2 different job offers. One was like, there's no way I'm gonna take this job, because like I said, we were full swing in the pandemic. This is at September 2020. Pandemic happened in March. That was when the shutdown happened. I believe it was March of 2020. And these people were talking about, yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get people, working from home due to the pandemic. And I'm like, why are y'all just now trying to figure this out? So that didn't make much sense to me. And the other company, the one I ended up taking a job from, they had everything already figured out. All of their employees were already working from home. I don't want to get anything on my robe. All of their employees were already working from home, and had been since March. So it just was a no-brainer, the company that I worked with or decided to work with. And they just have been incredible this whole time. Like, we've been working from home. They sent all my equipment to my front door. I had orientation, everything, via Zoom. So they were just really on top of the ball. And I like my job. I don't love it, but I don't know if I've ever had a job that I love, because I don't love work. But I like my job, and I'm happy with it. And I make more money, so that's always a plus. I look insane. Gosh. But yeah, that part of it, like, the job hunt wasn't hard. I had, I think, 3 different interviews and 2 different job offers, and I settled on this one. I make more money, like I said, and then down in Texas they don't have state taxes, so I get to keep some more of my money. But I don't know if things are inflated, because this is my first time living on my own, because I got my own place in April. So from September to April, or is it? No, I think I moved in May. So from September to May, I stayed with my dad. And then in May, I got the keys to my own place. And I've been here by myself ever since. And I absolutely love it. Like, I do miss the freedom of living with my parents, because, baby, that rent ain't no joke, okay? The rent is no joke. But you also cannot buy peace of mind like this. Like, just knowing that everything's gonna be exactly how I left it when I come home, and that the rules here are my rules. This is my house. Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. Wouldn't trade it for the world. But yeah, so like I've said, I've been down here now for going on a year, and I love it. I have no, like, there's not even a single part of me that wishes I could move back home. Like, when I come home to visit, people ask me, like, oh, would you move back? And I'm like, no, never. Like, never say never, but never. Like, I think I would move someplace completely different before I would go back. Like I said, there's not anything wrong with the city, but I'm just kind of over that part of my life. I mean, it's just a different phase. I'm ready to explore. Like, there are some other places I think I would want to move to before I settle down and, like, buy a condo or a house or anything like that. But for right now, I'm content. I am content. So I don't really have any, like, tips or advice as far as how to move out of state, just because I know it was way easier for me than it is for most people. But if it is something that you are considering, absolutely 100% do it. do it. You will learn so many things about yourself being completely away from everybody. Like my dad was down here, yeah, and I have some family down here, but just being away from your everyday, like your day-to-day stuff, it forces you to explore the area, it forces you to explore yourself, and there's just something extremely freeing about being somewhere where nobody knows you. And I wasn't a popular person, like nobody knows me back home, but it's just knowing that without a doubt you're not running into anybody that you know here. It's just such a freedom. I can't really describe it other than that. Like knowing that when you go to the local grocery store, you're not running into anybody that you know, and just everybody that you meet is a new person and you're a new person to them, and you get to just really recreate yourself. And it's really been a very liberating and freeing experience. Like I'm sure it would be a lot more fun if we weren't in a global pandemic, but we are, so it is what it is. But I've been having a blast. Now, like I said, there are some pros and cons. You would think that the heat would be one of them, because I'm not a summer person. Like I enjoy fall most of all, but I really enjoy the winter because I'm a natural homebody type of person, and people are naturally home in the winter, so I feel like this is my time to shine, you know. But I thought the heat was going to bother me a lot more, and it really doesn't. Like I don't have a problem with it at all. Like it'd be hot, it gets up to 100 degrees. I think it's going to be 100 degrees today, but it just doesn't bother me. Like I really expected to be like sweating profusely and like having a hard time with this heat, and it just does not bother me. I mean, that's a blessing. But my major con, and if you follow me on Instagram, you know what my beef is. These freaking lizards, the frogs, all these little creepy crawly things. I've seen a snake, I've seen freaking Godzilla. That's my problem. Like I don't understand what, well, I guess I literally moved down south, but whatever. I just don't like that, and I'm not used to that kind of stuff. Like we don't have that up north. We don't have that in the Midwest. Lizards, and I'm not talking about every once in a while. Like I see them on a consistent, regular basis, and it blows my mind every time. Like you would think I've been here for a year, Jayla, get used to it, get over it. Like no, like I can't get used to it. I can't get over it. Like it's really, it just blows my mind. Like what are y'all doing here? And then they be like right up. Like a few times when I was staying with my dad, like one got into the house on 2 separate occasions, and that was a major problem for me. Because why are you in my house, sir? Can somebody explain that to me? Why are you in my house? So that's a major con. Another of my big cons is the Texas government, which I feel like I should have done a little bit more research as far as like the governor and what his policies were and how things kind of work down here. I really don't think it would have influenced my decision much, because I was coming regardless, but I really wish I had at least known what I was getting myself into, because the way they do things down here is real strange, just to say the absolute least. Like I remember the day when the governor here decided that masks were no longer a thing, and I was like, okay, B. I remember the exact day I went to Chipotle, and it had only been announced like a few hours prior, and there already was a guy, and before you ask, yes he was giving the Chipotle staff a hard time, and he just was in there with no mask. And at first I remember asking, like, why are they not asking him to leave? But I've worked in fast food, and they don't get paid enough to do that, to be dealing with these kind of psychos, because obviously you have something going on with you if this is the first thing you wanted to do is just go and cause a ruckus, because it clearly had a sign on the Chipotle door that masks were a requirement. So you walking past that sign, there is no reasoning with you, and I completely understand why the staff choose not to get involved, because they don't, first of all, they don't get paid enough for that, and there's nothing you can do. It was just going to escalate and escalate. He wasn't listening. Even other patrons in there were you know, like complaining and had things to say, and he didn't care. He did not care. He was not concerned whatsoever. So that is one thing that I really don't enjoy, the government and the way they kind of run things, even with how things went down with like the power outage, because I was here for that. That was in February, like the big power freeze. And one thing I can say is that it was extremely frustrating, like in our staff meetings at my job. We would have weekly Zoom meetings and everybody's like, oh, you're used to this. You're from Detroit, you know, you're used to this. And I'm like, am I used to the weather? Absolutely. Like, I've driven in snow. I've seen feet of snow. Like, that's nothing new. What is new to me is the fact that nothing around here was prepared for it. Like, when it snows in Detroit, you go to the grocery store, there's still food. You go to the gas station, there's still gas. The roads get salted. Sometimes they get a little, you know, they get done late. Maybe they're not always right on top of it, but you know it's going to get done eventually. None of that happened here. And that's the thing. Like, I'm not going to say I'm a pro at driving on snow and ice, but I've done it before. I've been driving since I was 16, so I have some experience. But this was a completely different thing. Like, I was legit afraid to leave my house. You guys saw that big pile up. Like, that was insane. And I was afraid to leave my house. I was supposed to drive to Houston that weekend. I told my cousin, I was like, I can't come. It was her birthday. She had a whole little party. And I was like, I can't come because I was afraid to drive. It's 3.5 hours of driving. And one of the roads, or one of the roads, when did I start talking like that? One of the freeways that I have to take to get there, the main one, was the one that big pileup happened on. And I was like, oh no, I'm going to be sitting right in the house. I lost power. I had to go, you know, stay somewhere else. They were cutting the water on and off. It was really a hot mess. I did go to the grocery store like once and it was completely cleaned out. I got the most random food, like things you don't even eat, because the everything was shut down. Like, there was no fast food open, grocery stores empty, no gas stations had gas. It was really a mess. And the fact that people were like seeing this happening and we're saying like, oh, you're used to this. And I'm like, how would I be used to this? What do you think, the whole city shuts down every time it snows in Detroit? No. There, you guys, like, it was so annoying because they kept saying it repeatedly. I'm like, y'all are slow. Because, like, why would I be used to this? I've never lost power. During a snowstorm, I've never lost power. I know some people do, but I never have lost power. And I've never had to figure out, well, literally, what am I going to eat? And then you can't even cook the food because you don't have water. It was like a hot mess. So the way that whole thing was handled was ridiculous to me. And I was like, oh, this would never fly in the city. Like, I understand that this is a southern state and you guys aren't prepared, but I definitely think there could have been more done to kind of get things back under control. And I'm not really understanding fully what was going on with the power grid. But yeah, that wasn't, I didn't appreciate that. So these are the lashes we're gonna be wearing today, because I'm not wearing any I'm not wearing eyeshadow, so we're just gonna do it's not dramatic, but it's a cute little daytime lash. I think I'm gonna be quiet on this part because I've never been able to talk and do my lashes at the same time, so I'm gonna see y'all when I got my lashes on. Okay, we got our lashes on. I can't remember where I left off. Oh, cons. I talked about the whole power surge thing, so that was a mess. And once that kind of cleared up, you know, it was smooth sailing. But other than that, I'm trying to think if there are any other like major cons to the state, and I can't really think of any right now. Jobs seem plentiful. There's I hope I don't get, anyways, I don't really care for the food. Some of it's good, and I know I gotta do some more exploring, but so far I've not had anything that really wowed me. And I kind of just miss back home food. Like, I know that I'm sure I can find more good stuff, but the stuff that I've been trying is not really all that. So no offense to any Dallas natives, but the food, baby, the food is not it. But that's fine, because I need to stop eating out anyways. I'm trying to think any other like major cons. No more like big major cons. Like I said, I don't really care for the government. Don't really care for the lizards, the snakes, the frogs, that kind of thing. Other than that though, it's not that bad. Now the pros are that I was gonna say the weather, but that can't even really be a real pro, especially considering what happened with this winter storm. But oh, I forgot the major con. Let's rewind. The most major con in the entire world of me moving down to Texas, and I don't care who feels the way about it, these people cannot drive, period. Let it sink in. Because these people are the most horrible drivers I've ever encountered. And I've driven in more than just Michigan. I've driven in more than just Michigan. The point is, the driving down here is absolutely deplorable. I've never experienced anything like this. And I say this in all my vlogs, I say it every chance just because it really blows my mind. Like, I really wanted to know who gave you a driver's license. But it's even the police drive like, everybody drives like that down here, and I don't understand it. Like, I have to give, like, I know you're supposed to give 2 car lengths of space anyways, according to like the what do you call it, the driving laws, the driver's test, whatever it is. You're supposed to give 2 car lengths, but most of the time most people don't do that. I really have to do that in real life because, listen, they be doing the most ridiculous stuff. There's not a single time since I moved here that I've gotten in my car and didn't see something that made me say, oh my God, these people can't drive. It happens every time, without fail. Without fail, it happens. And that is a major con because it threatens my safety. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, OMG, what are y'all doing? So that's my most major con, is the driving. Now we can talk about the pros. I haven't really seen many like mean people or anything like that. People seem cool. There is a lot to do, it seems like, and I'm sure that if I had tried harder while I was at home, I probably could have found the same amount of things. But when you move out of state, everything is just so fresh and new, and you're like, oh, we don't have this at home, and then somebody's like, yeah, you do. And you're like, oh, well, we don't have this, and they're like, yeah, you do. Like, sometimes you just don't put the effort in. But it's really, I just really love the environment overall. I like my neighborhood. I feel safe here. I live in like a little gated community or whatever. So I like where I live. I like my job. And like I said, I really just thoroughly enjoy being in a new environment. And that's why I said I highly recommend it. Even if you don't come here, go somewhere else. Move out of state. Move out of your hometown. And you can always come back. Just do it for like a year. I think that might be my next mission. Like, if God blesses me enough to the point where I don't have to hold down like a traditional job, then I think I want to get like 6-month leases in like other states. Because there's just so many other places I want to try before I settle down. And I do think that this could be a good place to settle down. Like, if I never move anywhere else, I think I'd be happy here. Because the complaints, like, you get used to the driving, and I got full coverage car insurance, so, you know, we just make it do what it do. But I could see myself really like staying here. I don't really know what the dating life is like, because I am single. I have been for a long time, and I've not dated since I've been down here. I just have had some really weird experiences with the men. It seems to be the general consensus that the men down here are not, you know, top tier, and I could see that. I'll tell you a short story. I gave my number out to this guy, and it was like 9:15, I think. Within the first 20 minutes of him having my phone number, he called me 5 times. In like a short period of time. And my phone has been on Do Not Disturb for like 2 years now. Like, consistently it's on Do Not Disturb. So the fact that my phone even rang threw me off, because I'm sitting here trying to figure out like, what's happening. That man called me 5 times, and I was like, oh baby, no. And then like, so that, I mean, that's not a pro or a con, because I don't care about dating, honestly. People get on my nerves. But yeah, I have heard that the general consensus is that the dating scene down here isn't that great, and I would have to, I can't say I agree, because I also don't really go out much, so I don't know, child. But that one experience, I was like, I'm never giving my number out again. Because like, why would you do that? Why would you call me? Whatever. So that's that. Now I just kind of want to talk about, because I thought I was gonna have more to say about my move to Texas, but it was just too easy. Like, a guy wanted me to be here, so he made sure I was here. Like, I threw away almost everything I owned. Like, I packed up everything that I was bringing in my small little car, and my dad flew to Detroit, and then we drove here together. That was a major con. I would never make that drive again, because first of all, I don't like driving. Like, I do it because I have to, but I don't really enjoy it. And I'm a good driver, so I mean, I do it because it's part of my everyday life, but I don't enjoy it. So driving for 16 hours, and my dad did do most of the driving. I'm not even going to front like I was driving a long time. I think I may have drove 6 hours out of the 16, and we drove it straight through. We got on the road at like 5 a.m. and we were here by like 9 p.m. So we drove it straight through. We had my dog with us, may he rest in peace. So it wasn't a bad drive. I just don't like driving, so I'm not a big road trip person. I think the longest that I can be in a car for like a road trip and not get agitated is about 4 hours. After that 4-hour mark, I'm starting to get agitated, and I'm like be asking like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Like, no. That's just not my jam. Not my jam. But like I said, to anybody that is considering moving out of state, just do it. Honestly, just do it. Like, whatever it is that you have to do, if you have to start looking for a job a year in advance, I don't recommend moving out of state with no job or no job prospects. That's a level of trust and faith in the Lord that I'm not gonna say I don't have, but that's kind of big. I wouldn't recommend that. But just do it. And I think the most major thing about it is that if you don't like it, you can come back. Like, the city that you're leaving it's not going to disappear just because you left. It'll still be there. The people that you love about it, there will most likely still be there. The restaurants you love will still be there. Your old job, more than likely, will still be there. So really, when you think about it, like, I know it's a lot harder for other people that may have like more serious jobs or like career jobs, or maybe you have kids, or maybe you're in a relationship. But honestly, I would just say that if this is something that you really want to do, please find a way to do it. I just feel happy. Like, I wasn't depressed or anything before, but it's just, I feel like as soon as the very first day I woke up in my new space, I just was so happy. And things have really just been up and up ever since. Up and up ever since. I thought I was gonna have more to say. This is so embarrassing. Like, what am I supposed to say now? Now my mission in life is to get my family to move down here, because I do miss my family. I'm real close to my family. We are a very family-oriented family. Like, we call each other, we check up on each other, and everybody who knows me knows that my mom and I are like this, BFFs. And that was like a major deterrent. It wasn't even a deterrent, because I had, like I said, decided I was going regardless. But just the idea of not having my mom close to me was like, ugh, dang, like I'm leaving my homegirl. But guess what? She's moving here now. Why? Because she enjoys it here. Like, she's come to visit me. She came to visit me the very first week that I got here. Like, I think I had only been there for about a week, and she came and visited me, and we kind of bumped around and helped me get settled and that kind of thing. And she loves it here. She's excited for her new start. I'm excited for her new start, for her new journey. And now my next major thing, I want all my friends to move here. And my brother, because I miss my brother. We've gotten so much closer lately, and now I just miss having him around. So that's my new agenda. Like, I would love for everyone that I love to move out of state. Like, that's the one thing people ask me, like, do you miss, like, would you ever move back? And I'm like, no, I would never move back, but I would bring all y'all here. Like, I miss my church. Oh, I miss church so much. Like, watching it online, it's just, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. I mean, it's cool or whatever, but it's not the same. And I miss being able to harass my friends. I get to see them next week. But I do miss it. I really, really do. But do I miss it enough to go back? I don't. I really don't. Because I just feel like I'm just doing so much better in life here. Like I said, I'm happier. Things are going well for me. It's amazing what will happen in your life when you just listen to God's word. Because he told me to come here. That's why he made it so easy for me to do it. Like most people don't have it this easy. Like like I said, I got 2 job offers, not just 1. 2 job offers, both making more than what I was making at home. I had a place to stay, didn't have to worry about that, and it's like it's really just been up and up since then. Like I don't even have the same job that I had before. I'm still with the same company, but I have an even better, like a job I like even more now. And it's just like I just feel so happy. I wish I could bring the governor though. Like I miss Gretchen, because Gretchen had her head screwed on straight. This guy, Mr. Abbott, is he's just a little unorthodox, if you will. So, oh, and I would bring a Coney Island down here for sure. Was that the best restaurant ever in Detroit? Of course not, but it got the job done. Like sometimes I be sitting in bed like, ooh, I just want a quick little breakfast. And there's like a Waffle House on the corner, but everybody that I know that's been to Waffle House has said don't go to Waffle House, and so I'm scared. I'm scared to go to Waffle House. And I just don't think it's gonna give Coney vibes. I can't really see that good in this mirror, so we just gonna hope and pray that we don't look a mess. It seems like it look all right. It seems all right. And I don't plan to put every single product I'm using in the description box. So if you see me use something and you're like super curious as to what it is, just comment down below. Because I just don't think you guys are going to be that interested in all this random makeup that I'm using. Because I just have a habit of doing my makeup different every time. Like I'll see something on TikTok and then I'll be like, ooh, I should try that. And so I will, and if I like it, I keep doing it, and if not, I move on to something else. But my routine is not really like set in stone, you know. But I think it look okay. But if I could give, let's see, I think what I'm most excited about is just the endless possibilities. Like I just know that I can be whoever I want to be and just do whatever I want to do. Like I have no limitations, and I'm just so happy that I took the opportunity before it got harder. Because I feel like the older you get and the more responsibilities you tie yourself to, the harder it is. Like if I had been trying to sell a house or like coordinate with the end of a lease or pack up kids in a relationship, I feel like it would have been a lot harder for me. But also just a quick tip, don't let that stop you. This is my lippy I'm using today. This is Snobbish from my Pretty and Glam lip gloss haul, or my lip swatch video. Go watch that video. But just don't let it stop you. Like, people pack up and move all the time. If you want to do it, do it. Find a way, make it work. Because I guarantee that you are more than likely regret not doing it. I mean, look at my mom. She's like, I'm not gonna tell y'all how old she is, but she's a mom's age, and she's ready to start her life completely over. And I'm gonna be so happy to have her here. Now all that's missing is my brother. only thing that's missing is my brother and the rest of my family. But I'm about to get dressed real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and wrap it up. Okay, I am back. I am dressed. I have my jewelry on. My earrings are from Harper Ray. I have on my Harper Ray accessories tennis bracelet and my honeycomb love. And this is the perfume of the day. Can you see that? Yes. Okay. So I am all ready for my Sunday fun day excursions. My auntie is here from out of town, and we're gonna have a good day. But I hope that you got something from what I said. Hopefully I answered some questions about why I moved here and if I'm liking it, and what my future plans are. I really do hope that you feel inspired to take the leap if this is something that you're interested in, because I highly recommend it if it's feasible for you. And if it's not feasible for you, I would try to find a way to make it work, because I feel like this was the best decision I've ever made, and I feel like life is gonna reward me. Life and God, of course, are gonna reward me for it. So that is all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share it with a friend. And I will see you in the next video.